Hello and thanks for watching. My name is Angel Villar and I am a systems engineer at VMware. On this video we are going to see how to use VMware NSX to help protect against the WannaCry ransomware and similar attacks. First, I want to make it clear that this is not VMware official documentation at all. This is simply my point of view on how NSX can help mitigating this kind of attacks. So what is WannaCry? It's a ransomware that has been used in a global attack to encrypt files on infected devices. It leverages a Windows vulnerability that allows remote code execution on Microsoft SMB servers. As you can read on the screen, it impacted multiple operating systems. Also, once one device was infected, WannaCry could move to the next one by using the vulnerability described before. Infected devices got a message like the one you can see on the screen, asking the end user to pay a ransom in bitcoins, otherwise they will never get back the files that had been encrypted by WannaCry. And how can NSX help on this context? First, by leveraging its partner ecosystem, which includes vulnerability scanners, next-generation firewalls, IPSs, and antivirus. In this way, whenever a security partner detects that a VM has a vulnerability or is already infected, it notifies NSX, which automatically puts this VM in quarantine so that the infection does not spread. I won't go into further details on this topic because I already covered it in a previous video called VMware NSX Dynamic Protection Against Threats that is available on my YouTube channel. The second way NSX can help is by means of its very easy to use micro-segmentation. During the attack, security organizations recommended to block several ports towards the Windows VMs to stop the infection spreading. We are going to see in a short demo how it's very simple with NSX to group all Windows VMs and apply a security policy that blocks all these ports in just a matter of minutes. But before jumping into the demo, remember, the NSX security model can be applied on top of existing infrastructure using the existing VLANs with no IP modification on the VMs and no routing modification. Routing can be kept on the physical network. And deploying the NSX security model is non-disruptive because it does not require hardware replacement, and also the VMs are not moved to a different port group. They stay on their existing port groups, so there is no outage. So now, with all this context already set, let's move into the demo. The first thing we need to do once in NSX is to group all Windows VMs. And this is something we do under the Service Composer. So we click on its link, and next we are going to click on the Create New Security Group button. We will give it a descriptive name, in this case all Windows VMs. All Windows VMs. We then click on Next, and now we will define the criteria for VMs to belong in this group. So we are going to use the computer OS name containing the word Windows. So in this way we will group all VMs that are running any kind of Windows OS. We click on Finish, and just with this simple action we will have all our Windows VMs grouped on the All Windows VMs security group. In this case we have 3 VMs, which we can see there are 2 Windows 2011 VMs and 1 Windows 2008 VM. So we have VMs from different Windows OS types. Once we have all Windows VMs grouped, the next step is to define a security policy for them. For that we go into the Distributed Firewall tab, and here we will create a new section just for this matter, so we will call it Mitigating WannaCry, for example, and we will place it on top of the firewall because we want these rules to have the highest priority. So we finish entering the section name and click on Save. And then we will add a rule to our section. We edit the rule, we give it a descriptive name as well. So for example we can call it any to Windows block, which describes what the rule will do. So we finish entering the name, any to Windows block, we click on Save. So as the source we keep any, as the destination we will edit the field, and we will use the group we have just created. So in object type we will select security groups, and from the security group list we will choose the one we have just created, all Windows VMs. Then we need to define the ports that we are going to block, the ones recommended by the security organizations. So we edit the service field, and here we are going to enter the Microsoft Thieves port, which is the TCP 445. Okay, let's add it. And then we will add the NetBIOS related ports. There are 3 of them. NetBIOS name service, UDP 137. Okay, let's add it. Next, NetBIOS datagram service on UDP as well, UDP 138. And finally, NetBIOS session service on TCP 139. Okay, let's add it. And once we have our 4 ports, we click on OK. Finally, we need to define the action. So in this case, we want to block this traffic. So we edit the field, we change from allow to block, and also we change the login setting to log all traffic. We click on save, and we are done. We have just defined the rule that will block all traffic towards our Windows VMs on these ports. The only thing pending is to click on publish changes so that the rule is effectively enforced. And this way, in just a matter of 3-4 minutes, we have been able to take the protective measures recommended by the security organizations, and all traffic towards our Windows VMs on these ports will be blocked. It doesn't matter if the source is on the same or a different VLAN. Once again, VMware proves itself as a key enabler for the digital era, because it takes security into a new level with agility, simplicity and visibility. In this case, reacting quickly once a security threat is detected, so that it doesn't spread into our systems. And that's all. I hope you have enjoyed the demo, and don't forget to check my YouTube channel where this and multiple other demos are uploaded. Thank you.